Welcome to WP Theme Tutorial, episode 37. Today is part 2 in a 9-part series where we're going to build a plugin that allows registered users on our site to save posts so that they can basically favorite them for later. You can find episode 1 on the site, and it's called Building a Plugin to Let Users Save Posts, part 1. It's also linked in the current post. Before we get going, I'd also like to point you to the book I wrote, which is going to teach you a lot of the same things that we're doing now, and actually gives you an overview of a lot more in the WordPress community as well. You can find that on the site, wpthemetutorial.com. And if you go to store, it's the first product and the only product right now on the store. And you can click through there, and it's $29.99 for personal use, and $39.99 if you're using it for an agency and you'd like to be able to give it to your other employees. So to recap, last time we built a plugin, and that plugin basically just initialized itself and then added some capabilities so that we could check them later for a user to make sure that they had the capability or the privilege to save posts for later. Today, we're going to look at allowing users to register for the site so that we know they are registered properly and that we can check their capability to save posts. To do that, I'm going to use Gravity Forms. Now, Gravity Forms is a paid plugin. The link on the site is an affiliate link. I firmly believe in Gravity Forms. I use it on every project almost all the time. If we need forms, that's just the default form I go with. If you don't want to have to pay for it, then never touch it because it's just that awesome. I actually have the developer license, which is $199 a year and lets me basically do anything I want. It has awesome support. They are super supportive. For this project, we're going to need 2 add-ons. We're going to need the Mailchimp add-on because we're going to allow users to also sign up for a mailing list. And we're also going to need the user registration add-on. Now, the user registration add-on is only available for the developer license. And that basically just allows users to sign up. Now, yes, WordPress does allow users to sign up. There is a way to let them register, but it's not as pretty when you're actually building an application type site. You always have to brand the login anyways, and I find that you get a much better branded experience just by giving them a custom registration form, and Gravity Forms makes that really easy. So what we are going to do, as you can see, I've already downloaded the Gravity Forms plugin, the Gravity Forms Mailchimp plugin, and Gravity Forms user registration. So I'm going to grab all those, and I am going to bring them over to my theme folder. And you can see I'm in WP Content, and I'm in the plugins. Now this is just on my local development machine, so you may have to use an FTP client to FTP them up to your site. Now I'm going to go to my dashboard and go to plugins. And you can see I've got 3 plugins to add on. So I'm going to do all 3 of them and activate. You can see I've got issues right here already. So it wants me to register. So since you should have a registration key for Gravity Forms, I'm just going to plug my license in and save settings. Now my settings are updated. And we're going to go back to my plugins because it looked like there were some updates there too. It actually looks like there's not now. So I've added my Gravity Forms, and what that's given me is right here. You can see it says Forms, and I need to create a new form for registration. My new form, I'm going to title it Registration Form. It needs to have a number of fields. The required fields for WordPress for registration are, we're going to need, under advanced fields, we're going to need name, and we're going to need username. And so I typically do single line text for that. And drag and drop so that it's in the right order that I want it in. And then we're going to need email. We're going to need a password form field, and then we're going to do 2 others. I want my users to be able to enter their Twitter and their Facebook. So we've got those set. I'm going to start by editing these. So this is my username field, and this is required. I want to require my first and last name as well. And I want to require my email. And I don't want to have duplicate emails be allowed. And I need to require the password as well. And then these last two, Twitter, I'm not going to require. And the Facebook, I'm also not going to require. I can close and save my form. See, right now it's going to pop up and offer me a bunch of different options. The first thing I'm going to do is actually leave them. I don't really need to do anything else. I'm going to hit continue editing form. I also want to change my message when the form is filled in. So I'm going to go to confirmation. It says, thanks for contacting us. We'll get in touch with you shortly. And you want to type in just a nice message for them. And update form. So now that's all set. So the next thing we need to do is actually allow this user to register. So we need to go to Forms and User Registration. And we need to create a registration form. First thing we're going to do is select a form. Obviously you have many forms. It's going to show you many forms here as options. And we need to set our fields. So username we set. First name is that. Last name, display name, I'm going to set it to the username. So display name is by default what you see them used as. I often use Curtis McHale, all lowercase, one word, as my username, but I could change it in the WordPress admin to actually show Curtis McHale with spelled properly with proper capitals. Also set their email, you have their password. Their role is not going to be administrator. We're going to make them a subscriber. And then we can add custom meta. So for Facebook and Twitter, we're going to go Twitter. We're going to make it the Twitter name. We're going to add another one. We'll add custom. Facebook. I'm going to use the Facebook profiler page. And then we want to leave this last option checked as well to send this password to the new user by email. That way they actually get their password and get it confirmed for them. Click Save. So now we can have a user register. But we don't have it on any page yet. So let's go to our pages. See, there's a lot of pages in here. I think the first thing we have our dashboard. Let's see what's on our dashboard right now. Our dashboard page, so nothing. So let's edit that. And we're going to change this into our contact page, our registration page. And we're going to add a form to it. I'm going to select a registration form, and I'm going to enable Ajax, and I'm going to take away the description and the title. So I enabled Ajax so the page doesn't refresh on the user. I'm going to insert my form, and I also just want to change this, which is my permalink slug. I'll hit update. Now if I view my page, it won't be dashboard anymore. So if I view page, registration page, now has our nice tidy form on it. I really don't want comments on this page at the bottom either. So we're going to go up to screen options, and we're going to go to comments. No, where is it again? Discussion. Allow comments unchecked, and allow trackbacks unchecked. And we'll update again. So now you can see we don't have comments down at the bottom. Next thing we're going to need to do is allow our users to sign up for our email. I actually missed one field on our form, so we'll go back to our forms. We can edit our form, and we want to put in a conditional. We're going to put in a single checkbox, and we're going to take away our other two options. I want it to be checked by default. And I'm going to leave my label empty. I'm going to update my form. You can see we now have add me to the mailing list is checked. So now what I need to do is go to Mailchimp. Now, I don't even have it activated with my Mailchimp account yet, so I'm going to go to Mailchimp Settings. I need a Mailchimp API key. So over here, I'm already signed into my Mailchimp dashboard. And what I'd have to do here is go to Account and API Keys. And this key right here, which I'm going to blank mostly out for you, is the API key you need. So I'm going to copy it, go to Settings, paste it in, and save settings. Now I have an API key, and I can go back to Mailchimp and configure a feed. The first thing I'm going to do is check my Mailchimp list, and then I'm going to pick my form. Again, we only have one form. And we need a few fields here. We need their email address, their first name, and their last name. And we're also going to put an opt-in condition in. We want to make sure that, in this case, blank, because we didn't put a label in the field, is add me to the mailing list. So they're only going to even be sent there to the mailing list if they have checked that off. And then I'm going to remove double opt-in. You can see Mailchimp is saying abusing this may cause your account to be suspended. So I'm actually trying to make sure my user does get on it, and I'm going to drop the double opt-in option. But I've actually asked them to check a box to say they want to do it, or I suppose I've checked it for them. And I'm going to hit save. So let's test this. And how I'm going to do that is I'm going to open up in incognito mode. I'm going to put in my username. My Twitter name. And I don't have a Facebook page, and we'll say add to mailing list. It says, thanks for registering. Check your email for username and password. So what I'm going to check first is I'm actually going to check my lists. I'm going to check my subscribers. You can see the top one right there is the demo email that I entered for myself. So we can tell that that worked. Now let's also go back and we're going to register, or we're going to log in. Now I haven't created a custom login page yet, so I'm just going to type in the standard WordPress one. And my username was Curtis Test. My password was just a string on the keyboard. You can see I'm signed in. Now we're not going to end up showing the user the WordPress admin at all, but we haven't written that redirect yet. You can also see that we haven't extended our user profiles to actually show the Twitter or the Facebook page, but they are saved. So that's it for today. Today we set up Gravity Forms. We set it up so a user could register for our site and so that they get sent to our Mailchimp mailing list. Thanks for watching.